Fuck your mama, fuck your sister, fuck your grandma, but most importantly,
most of all, fuck you!
House of a Thousand Corpses. What's there really to say? This is Rob Zombie's directorial debut. It is wild, it is crazy, it is horrifying, it is bloody, it is gross, and it is just disgusting. Is it perfect? No. Is it the best movie ever? No. Is it the greatest horror movie ever? No. But do I love it? Yeah, I definitely do. Written and directed by Rob Zombie, House of a Thousand Corpses has a crazy and kind of, well, I don't know if it's unique, but a special kind of story being made at the Universal lot and then not being shown or released for, I believe, 3 years later. It wasn't until Lionsgate would pick up the film to finally release it in theaters, because Universal thought the movie was literally unreleasable because fans, according to Rob Zombie, were rooting for the bad guys. And yeah, we root for the bad guys in these movies. That's what it's all about.
Thought it went great. What do I know? The head of Universal at the time came up to me and was like, "We have to talk tomorrow." I was like, "Oh man, that was not a good tone. That wasn't a, you're so great, we want to give you a 5-picture deal tone of voice." So the next day they dumped the movie and, just basically booted us out. And then
what was the conversation?
They were like, basically this is unreleasable.
So the film starts off, of course, Captain Spaulding, played by Sid Haig, the great late legend, owns this sideshow kind of attraction where he does a couple of things. He has a horrifying ride, he has some horrifying memorabilia, and he sells chicken wings. And of course, you can get some gas. When, this man and his friend try to rob Captain Spaulding, things go wrong for them, and the robbers get a swift bullet to the head. This just leads us to our main 4 characters. I don't know if they're our main characters, but the good guys in this film. We got Chris Hardwick, of course, playing Jerry, Rainn Wilson playing Bill, and their 2 girlfriends, Jennifer Jostin and Erin Daniels, I believe. Yes, playing Mary and Denise. So, the film has them going to Captain Spaulding's attraction, looking for gas, where they stumble across some of the weird things that he has going on. This leads them onto the ride that he does, and they learn about Dr. Satan. Well, Chris Hardwick's character is quite, and I refer to them as their actors in this movie because, well, their characters aren't that memorable, and that's maybe one of the negatives. There's a few, but that's a negative for me. The good guys in this film, the people that are getting killed off, they're just not that memorable. So Chris Hardwick is very fascinated about Dr. Satan, and he asks Captain Spaulding to draw him a map to see where he could find the hanging tree. Well, this leads them to getting sidetracked when one of the members of the Firefly family shoot out their tire. And then we get my least favorite character, and I'm sorry, but she's so annoying, baby.
Shoo, shoo, said the maiden.
Oh, I know, it's Sherry Moon Zombie, Rob Zombie's wife, and I don't think she's a bad actor. The character of Baby is so annoying. That laugh. Anyways, they get sidetracked, and she says that they could tow her car, her brother will come out, but this just leads them to getting inside the house. And that's when we meet some of the other members of the Firefly family. Most importantly, fan favorite, great actor, Bill Moseley playing Otis. Otis is definitely the most demented, fucked up individual of this family, and that's saying a lot because this family is fucked.
How could I, being born of such conventional stock, a rival leader of the rebellion, an escapist from a conformist world destined to find happiness only in that which cannot be explained? I brought you here for a reason, but unfortunately, you and your sentimental minds are doing me no good!
We meet Tiny, we meet Mother Firefly, played by Karen Black, and that's just to name a couple. The other ones, You know, like Grandpa and the rest, they're in it, but they're not as interesting. So as the group is hanging around, we know that one of the characters, one of the girls, her father is kind of worried about her, as she tells him where they're at. And you know, this he's kind of worried. He kind of wants to know what's going on, but well, we'll get to him in a little while. So they're sitting around, and then the house is really weird. The house is just, there's a bunch of clutter everywhere. Walton Goggins' character plays one of the cops, even mentions that. It's just creepy. And upstairs, Otis is brutally torturing some cheerleaders. Very violent, very very gross, very horrifying. Definitely not for the faint of heart. But yeah, so some things go along, and then their car is ready, right? But this isn't after until they've had their dinner, and Baby and one of the girls get in a little argument, leads them to leave. But of course, Tiny and Otis and the rest of the gang are hanging out there like scarecrows, and they totally ambush them. This leads them to being kidnapped. And yeah, Rainn Wilson definitely gets it. Now, he gets really bad. They make him into like a mermaid fish kind of thing. Otis is really proud of that. Chris Hardwick gets it really bad too when Baby asks him what her favorite actress is, and of course he wouldn't know. He says Marilyn Monroe. He gets scalped for this, but he doesn't die. And yeah, they're just being tortured throughout all of this, you know, this whole sequence. And you know, then we go to the cops looking for the group of people, and this leads to the girl's dad coming along with them. And you know, their story's not in it that much, and it's all right. But Walton Goggins, man, that guy is, I mean, he's just a great actor. There's nothing else to say. He's just a great actor. he really brings it. And you know, his death, when they come to the house looking for them, you know, Otis is like, "I'll take care of this, like I always do," and he says that to Grandpa. And yeah, they just brutally murder them. And there's this long sequence, you know, as the camera's zooming out, and Otis has the gun to Walton Goggins' character's head, and it's drawn out for a little while, creates a little suspense, but I mean, you know he's going to get shot in the head. Otis isn't going to let him live, and he does. He just kills him. So yeah, some more time goes by, and they have another dinner now on Halloween night, and yeah, the group has just been tortured, maimed, and just, you know, just really just messed up at this point, all in bunny rabbit costumes now. And then this leads them to going to, of course, Dr. Satan's underground laboratory. I don't know. And yeah, so some things before we talk about the little final part of the movie. Rob Zombie really, you could tell he has a lot of what can I say? He has a lot of connections to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You can definitely feel that in this movie, but he adds his own twists on the whole thing. It kind of feels like a music video, which makes sense for Rob Zombie, of course, being the famous musician that he is. A lot of weird shots, a lot of weird editing. And these are just some of, I don't know if they're negatives, more so of just things that kind of stuck out that, well, I guess they're negatives because I wasn't the biggest fan of them. And, you know, some of the acting, Rainn Wilson, you know, I didn't love his character in it. Of course, Baby, she wasn't my favorite. But, you know, some really highlights, of course, Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding, like I said, amazing. Bill Moseley as Otis, fantastic. And yeah, it really, they really bring it, and you can really tell that they're having fun with it. But yeah, so there's just some weird instances in this movie that, you know, don't always line up the best for me. Some slow motion shots, some freeze frames. What is that, negative, when like they put in that editing? I didn't love that. But anyways, when they get down to Dr. Satan's place, it's just the final two, and Chris Hardwick gets it when they lower them down into this and like underground, and like these zombie things underneath it totally just crawl away at the coffin that they're in. Just Denise and Chris Hardwick's character at this point, because Mary got knifed by Baby trying to run away, totally gets messed up there. And yeah, when Denise is down there by herself, she eventually stumbles across Dr. Satan's little laboratory, which I loved when they're down there. Really cool, really just messed up, the things, and like Yeah, like the just you really have to see the movie. I don't want to spoil all of it, but it really cool when they're down there. This leads to her to getting chased back out, and you think she's safe. In which the end she crawls out of the ground, and who else is driving down the road? Captain Spaulding. He hasn't done anything that bad, right? Well, he did kill a guy in the beginning of the movie, but that guy was trying to rob him. He's a little creepy, a little odd, but he's not a bad guy, right? Well, he is. Otis is in the back of the car, pokes his head out, and yeah, you know that Denise is gonna get fucked up. And yeah, that's where the movie ends. And it literally says the end, question mark, because we get the Devil's Rejects and Three from Hell later on, the making this a trilogy. But this first movie, I enjoy it. I've always enjoyed this movie. I think it's weird. I think it's just bizarre. I think the horror is amazing. Like I said, maybe some of the acting, maybe some of the writing. I don't know if Rob Zombie's writing is always there, but it doesn't deter it, that much for me by any means. And yeah, it's not the best movie, but it's a really great time. Really great time, especially during Halloween season, because this movie takes place on Halloween Eve, Halloween, and I guess the last day is November 1st. And yeah, it just really it fills that void for me when it's not Halloween season. And I do enjoy this movie. I rated a 6 out of 10 because I think that's a fair rating for this movie. I don't know if it could be any higher because of some of the things I mentioned, but I just enjoy it. And I think my enjoyment may negate the rating that I've given it, that 6 out of 10. But yeah, if you've never seen this movie, which I don't know a lot of horror fans who haven't, but if you haven't, you should definitely check it out because it's an awesome time. It's a brutal time, and yeah, it's Rob Zombie's first movie, and you gotta check that out if you're a horror fan like me. Thanks, guys, and if you liked the video, I'd really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. It'd mean a lot for the channel. I'm still looking for that first subscriber, so if anyone could maybe help me out there, that'd be really awesome. But anyways, thanks.